Hello there YouTube, Devin here again, and today I have another helmet video for you. I know a lot of you have been waiting for more helmets and stuff like that, and I have some more to do for you finally. So, I haven't been buying as many helmets because I'm kind of running out of room to put them. I'm looking to move here. A lot of you guys who have been with the channel for quite a while know I'm looking to move to get some more space here, but until I get some more space, I really don't have a lot of room. My place kind of looks like I'm a goddamn hoarder, and I guess in some instances I probably am. So, although it's relatively organized, I really don't want to take up any more of the space that I have, because I still like to have some open space, obviously, you know, for reasonability's sake. But what we have for you here for you is a Danish M23. Now, this isn't the earliest pattern Danish M23, but this is the second pattern Danish M23. Now, the earliest patterns you see with the big, huge brass badge on them. Now, those weren't made for very long, just a few years, and then they went to these because they realized the brass badge was kind of unnecessary, and that was the only difference. And that the brass badge was removed. It still had the same kind of chunky paint. In this case, the chunky paint is, as you can see, fairly worn down with age. But there is matte finish paint on here that had something put in the paint to keep it from being really smooth, that you see on the later versions of the M23, like the M23 41, which I also have, which is the most common M23 you put here. You see how it has that smooth paint on it that would make it shiny if it was wet. Original pattern M23s will all have this kind of finish on them. Now, some of them you find will have chunkier paint on them than others. It just depends on whoever mixed the paint that day, basically, when they were making them. So, but this is an original M23. You could tell it's one of the older ones because the steel is much thicker than on the M23 41s. So these would have been the helmets used through the 20s and 30s and up into when Germany invaded in late 1939, I believe, or was it early 1940? But either way, Denmark didn't last very long. But this is the helmet they would have been using for the vast majority. You would have seen these in conjunction with original M23s, albeit with the badge removed. So, and with more Danish elite units, you would have seen the M39, which is often called the Royal Guard helmet, because that's who really wore it. And that's a slightly different design, but this is the helmet the vast majority of Danish troops would have been using during the invasion, is the M23 pattern here. Now, it doesn't really differ much from the original, from the helmet that came after it, so the one made during occupation, which was the M23 41. But as you can see here, the liner in this one is in pretty immaculate shape. The buckle is a little bit rusted on it, but that's okay. It's still actually a very heavy, thick, comfortable steel buckle with the roller on it that you don't really see with later on helmets. They kind of got rid of the creature comforts like the roller buckle, but you can see a very nice bright stamp on there. As you can see from the later ones, the liner basically goes all the way to the rim. And now that wasn't because they didn't really have sizes. This was kind of a one-size-fits-all type of helmet. And later in the 1941 update, as I'll show you here, the liner was made in different sizes. So this one is pulled away significantly from the shell, as you could see, with these little cork spacers, because this is meant to fit a smaller head, even though the shells are the same size. Albeit this one is a little bit lighter. It's made out of thinner steel, which is actually kind of comfort because this is a relatively heavy steel helmet. But you can see the difference here between an original M23 and an updated version, the M23 41, as the liners go. So this has that very kind of German-esque, very thick liner. Now, there's another way to quickly tell if it's an original 23 is if you undo these tongues and you look behind there. You might not be able to see it, but it has a leather liner band rather than a metal liner band. So beneath all these tongues there, you could see this leather liner band, much like a German M16, and then it's held in place with just your, I don't know if you could see that in there, right there at the tip of my finger. If I get the light, right there, tip of my finger, get the light to shine on it, it's held in place with just a washer and a split pin, much like a German helmet would be, like an M16 Stahlhelm. Later ones like the 2341, if I get that back up here, will have been made with a metal sweatband covered. Oh, sorry, a metal sweatband that is covered with wool as padding. So the original ones don't have the padding on the sweatband. You can probably see that kind of wool in here. That wool is on a metal band that is held in place with split pins, as with the later German helmets. So this one is on a leather sweatband, and the pads are on, if you could see these kind of rows of stitching here, are on the liner itself rather than on the band that is connected to the shell. So they're on the tongues rather than on the band. So that's another way to tell an early M23 from a late Danish M23. But I really want to, I've been waiting to come along one of these for a very, very long time because they're quite hard to find, especially the original M23s. So fortunately didn't find one with the badge. I'll keep looking for one. They're the rarest and hardest to find, the ones with the badge. But this is an original M23 that I'm very, very happy to have. So now I've got both versions, and hopefully I'll get an M39 eventually. So I wanted to compare both the M23s here for you, since I have an original one and then an updated World War II made one. And show you some of the differences and similarities in how to spot them, because these are worth significantly more money than the M2341s. The M2341s are arguably, I would say, a better helmet, though, because of how the liner is pulled away from the shell. It's going to offer a little bit more blunt force trauma protection. But these are still pretty incredibly rare, and I wanted to make sure I could show you guys that. And it's been sitting around here for quite a while, quite a few months. I've had this just waiting to show everyone. And I'm super, super glad that I got one. So thank you to the person that sent me this, very much so. They gave me a deal on it because I told them I'd do a video on it. I'm very, very sorry it's this late. Hopefully you get to see this. But thank you so much. And keep an eye open for one with the badge for me, because a lot of people don't know this. I actually really like the story of Denmark in World War II. It's actually probably one of the odder, weirder, but better stories of a country being invaded by Germany in World War II. And if you've never read it, I say go down like a rabbit hole on Google and just start reading about it, because it's almost comedically funny, but also incredibly good and bad for both sides, the Germans and the Danish both. So, but that's a story for a different day. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. In the meantime, I'm really, really glad for those of you who stuck around. Thank you so much for subscribing and everything like that. Please leave any comments, questions, user experiences, suggestions for future videos, all that in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. Please, please, please keep comments on task. That's something that I've been asking for in a lot of my videos. Please, please, please keep comments on task to this video. All right, and this specific helmet or other Danish related questions to this era, please don't just start throwing whatever in the comments. Please keep them on topic, because I want people, if I get something wrong or something like that, to be able to go into the comments and see the information that was corrected or any additional information that was given without having to scroll through all this garbage, unfortunately. So please, please, please keep comments on task. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.